As we are here doing a process of Diamond Simulation World here as we are getting underway here. And this is just a video to give a help to good fellow streamer, my good buddy Ryan, as Ryan Fort, as he just finished up Train Sim World. And trust me, I know how to a point it can look absolutely intimidating to drive these trains. And the only difference between my version and your version is that you have the California route. I do not, but all the other stations are just as fun either way. But alright, so doing that right now. Alright, so hopefully everyone's doing good, as we are, as this is more like a training video that I'm going to be doing to give Ryan some help on, as yes, it can be intimidating doing some of these scenarios and everything. So what we are going to be doing is hitting on journeys, which is the first thing we're going to be doing, which is kind of what he did. Okay, maybe, yeah, training. Maybe not. Okay. Well, they have really changed things around. Alright, scenarios. Jeez. Okay, so scenarios we have, I think the one he did was, yep, this one. Alright, down the line. So, you will just hit this one. This one is pretty, it's a pretty standard long trip, but it's not too bad. But, yes, I know how intimidating it can feel, Ryan. Trust me, no one knows that. You know, just how this thing goes. Oh my gosh, yes. I will be getting the MP36PH. But anyway, this is just to help you out, my friend.
Welcome to London Paddington. There are 3 trains available for you to take control of. Each one provides an increasingly longer journey. Which will you choose?
Alright, so, as I said before, yes, we have Platform 10, which is an hour-long trip. Then you have Platform 8, which is 30, and then Platform 14, which is Hayes and Harlington. So we're going to do that one just because you did it, and we're going to head on over. And just like you said before, if you happen to fall into the pit, do not worry. If you find one of these steps right here, just hit the triangle, and boom, you're good to go here. See, I'm already climbing up through the, and if you also hit R10. So, but if you hit, yeah, if you happen to fall in the pit, again, Ryan, do not despair. You can still get out of it. Alright, so we are heading over here to Platform 14, even though, yes, I would very much like to go over there to the bus and ride that sucker, but I'm here to help you out. So we're going to do the same exact route as you did. Look both ways, make sure no trains are coming, and just cut across. Makes the trip go so much faster. Alright, so we go in. Go ahead, don't worry about the doors unless you just want to be funny. And go ahead and close them right behind you. Alright, hello sir. Yes, you're in my seat.
This train is an all-stop service to Hayes and Harlington. Get things set up, ready for departure. You'll be heading out shortly.
Okay, like I told you before, if literally the only thing, if you understand, and it'll take you some time to really get going, but once you really understand the aspect of the controller, then you'll be good to go. I believe it's the, yep, on the right side on your right pad, on your pad, you just hit the right side and hit A. And then you don't have to worry about looking all over here for every single control. Alright, hit the door release. Alright, so we're hitting the doors. That's on the left side pad. So just, left, right. That's what you gotta remember. Left and right. Okay, so we need to unlock the left doors. You'll hear that familiar sound. And we are currently loading. Passengers. As you can see, I've done this quite often. This game. As you can see, some of the stats I've rolled up already. And Mike and Lady have been there joining me most of the way there. So, and welcome to the stream here on Diamond Simulation World. Thank you for checking out the stream today. If you like what you see, please hit like, subscribe to the button. I certainly would appreciate it. This is another channel of my original channel, Diamonds Gaming. So, Diamond Simulation World, the only thing I'm going to have on this channel is games like Train Sim World, Bus Simulator, Construction Simulator, which I am currently in the process of downloading right now. Alright, now I have to wait 3 minutes because the train's not set to depart till 9:48. And that'll give me excellent time to go in my plug. But yes, if there goes one of our trains. But if you like what you see, please hit like, subscribe, that button. I certainly would appreciate it. And like I said, Diamonds Plus Gaming was my original channel, and this is my other channel, Diamonds Simulation World, where I will be doing nothing but these type of games on this channel. So, we will wait here for 9:48 to come across, or hope everyone's doing well. Like I said, this is more of a help for Ryan, who just did his first run on Diamond on his channel, Ryan Fort. And the easiest way I've been able to find him is just by typing in some of the games he's already broadcasted on his channel, MLB The Show 20, stuff like that. So that's how I've been able to find his channel. He's currently up to, I believe, 33 subscribers. So feel free to check out his channel. He's a good buddy of mine who is always here when I am streaming. Both him and Mike and Lady are generally the ones that are with us here. But because I did say I wasn't going to be streaming tonight, this was kind of just a pop-in type stream here tonight. So there goes the bus. There goes, no, that's a train just like us. So they are gone. They are on the way out, and we will be too in about 1 minute. But we will have to stop. Now, to understand the driving controls, Ryan, it's not that hard, especially with a controller. Once you really get the aspects of the controller down, it will not be that hard. That way you don't always have to directly point at the thing. Now, what I did here with this thing, I'm just using the left stick and controlling that portion. In case this thing got frozen, like I said, the left stick is how I control the reverser and everything else. Here comes the train, and we are about ready to roll here. Alright, so let's shut the doors. Like I said again, left pad, and then use the arrow to move it up. Once the train's ready to go, please confirm the train's ready by pressing the guard buzzer. That's the only thing you can't do on your thing, on the control pad. Other than that, you are good to go, and hopefully So right now we got to get down to notch 3. And we are rolling here. Looks like, yes, we are green. Green as green can be. As we are rolling. As we are into notch 3 right now. And we are rolling all the way to Hayes and Harlington. Yeah, I thought maybe I forgot that this was the shorter end route. This is the shorter end route to this train. But there's a lot of cool aspects with this game that I thoroughly enjoy with Trains in World. Yeah, those are your... And if you press down on the... If you hold and press down on the right stick pad, you know, like press it and hold it, then you get the cameras. I'm sure, and I know you figured that out. And my favorite is the rear camera. Now, in order to make adjustments on the camera, like earlier when we were getting smacked in the face, just hit triangle again, and then just kind of adjust. You can use L2, R2. It kind of just adjusts the camera which way, however you like. L2 and R2 to adjust the camera. That way you can just skim the surface and still be able to see the view. And then just make sure you switch back on triangle to make sure you go back to driver mode, because technically you're still driving the train. Now I am to the point where I can be on this camera and be good to go. I don't really have to come out of the camera too much, so that's the nice thing. But for you, yes, we will go inside the driver's seat, and right now we are currently 3.1 miles from the Acton main line. Now the reason I'm going up here is to look for not the heater, because now I use the signals, which I enjoy doing. Now if you're not familiar with the signals, every time you hear a beep, you just hit circle on your that's the DSW line. If you don't, and that is the general warning sign on the signal on the train itself. If you don't hit that within the appropriate time, the DSD button, if you don't hit that within the appropriate time, your train will automatically be shut down. And then it's almost like a cold start. So you just have to kind of go through the process once again. Alright, so we're still, we're pumping, we're going to move up to notch 4. Like I said, R2 and R2 and R1 are your controls for throttle and brake in this train, and generally will be for most trains in the game. But because this is a one-stick train, is all I have to call it, your throttle and your brake are all on the same stick, so that's the beauty of it. And because I'm daring, I'm gonna pump this sucker to catch up to, because we're about to hit 85, about 2 miles away from our first stop on the Acton main line early. Especially at the first stop. First stop commands everything. Alright, we'll go back outside. We are about 1.5 miles away from our first destination. Now, like I said, once you get to Ryan, we're about 1.3 miles from our destination. And like I said before, there's our first signal. Alright, just to help you out, I'm going to go back inside. Now we're at 1.1, so I should start dropping speed. Now if I feel like I'm not dropping speed enough, then I go into the brakes. And right now I'm using brake 1 because right now we're still currently good. We are still currently good. Until we really start getting the fast count, we're still good. Now you can just toggle up and down with the R2 and R1 buttons. Like I said, that's your throttle and your brake. Now we're starting to get into the whole aspect of countdown. You know, instead of miles, we're in yards. So just drop it, oh so slightly, but not too much to where you're going to be stopping before you get there. So here I just kind of, I turned the brakes off, went back to, I went to cruise mode, which is 0 on your, which is cruise mode on your thing. Now I can drop it again. Right now I'm at 400. I'm well early. I'm like 3 minutes early right now, which I always like. I like being early. But like I saw you earlier, you're getting the hang of it. You are stopping like a boss. And like I said, the color coding on the tracks is generally where they want you to stop, so that passengers can load up on the train. Wrong button. And if you really need to stop, you can actually go all the way down to where it says emergency stop, but generally you can stop on 3 and then you're good to go. And then hit your left pad again. Unlock the left because that's the side we're on. And if you just want to have some fun, you can get out, watch the doors open, which is a beautiful thing. R2 while you're out. R2, you run, you can run. Ah yes, thank you. Another map. You can also go in these things, and you can also cross over. And like I said, if you ever find yourself in the tracks, do not despair. You can still get, all you have to do is just look for the little steps in the hole of the tracks, and then you're safe. Alright, see, we're in the active main line. We're on track 3. Alright, so we're going to sit down again. We're going to close the door because we are about there. And now we have to wait 2 minutes. So that's the good part about now. The thing you see here, contact signaler, that is in case if you leave or you have a red light, you have to contact the signaler, and he'll let you know whether you can go or it's clear or any such like that. Each scenario is a little different, but like I said, anytime you deal with red lights, trains, other stuff like that, you always contact the signaler in case you have a red light. And here it says proceed at restricted speed, so we're good. Now if he doesn't, he'll say no lines are open, meaning you have got to have another train on the line or in direct area of us for us not to go. And the biggest thing is really just paying attention to where we're at, really. You know, paying attention to where we're at, lights and the speed, because speed changes all the time. That red line you see on the speedometer is basically how fast you can go, and you don't want to go over it, because if you do, then they will shut you down electronically. Alright, so now we can lock the doors. Oops, I did. Okay. Alright, cool. Not sure that was the biggest mistake in the world. Oh well. And I always hit the horn. Just have fun. Now this next stop, because this is a 17-minute stop, we have very short stops. So we're heading to Ealing Broadway, which is 1.4 miles. So we just have a little bit short distance to go. And like I said, I do all the DSD signals. Now, I did not in the beginning, but like I said, if you want to try your luck and do the DSD signals, it is circle when you hear the signal go off, and it's a constant type thing. So you hit circle on your controller. Like I said, with your controller, it's R2 or R1 with this train, and then it will be the same for the other train, which I call the bus. And that thing is a beauty. That thing is a bus. And there's another signal. So we just hit circle again, and then we are good to go here. Yes, we are pumping it like a boss here today. But like I said, most of this is to help Ryan out, so that hopefully, you know, like I said, the main objective is to help anybody learn this game a little bit quicker and understand the game and how to drive trains and do what you need to do. And also, very important, make sure you do the training scenarios in which you learn about these different trains. It is major help. And also, but like I said, with any, you know, they don't always cover everything. Alright, here I'm just dropping it to 0, which is cruise, because hey, we got the next stop coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this puppy down to 30. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and drop it down to about 32. Because we're due in right now, 10 o'clock. Oh, good grief. Come on. Maybe I dropped it too soon. Now, the beauty of this train, it can stop on an absolute dime. This thing is so scary. If I feel like I'm dropping way too fast, then I just go back to R2, drop that puppy. I mean, pump the, stop the breakage part of it. Alright, unlock the doors. Again, left pat. And you'll hear the signal. And then the doors will be open. And like I say, if you feel frisky, go ahead and exit the door, hit triangle, or get out of the seat. And then you can kind of wonder what I do. R2 runs, so I run. If I'm trying to look for goodies like maps and other such stuff around here. Looks like I'm gonna have more time, because right now I'm about halfway done with the loading process. I always try to stay diligent and make sure I'm at every stop on time. And if you forget to close the door, don't worry, it will be closed for you, as you'll never start going anywhere without the door being closed. Alright, so we're going to lock the doors. And as you can see, the doors are even. Okay, well, we're not closed yet, but we will be. And there we go. The door is not closed as soon as you hit the accelerator. Alright, next stop is West Ealing, which is just as short as this one. Is not even a mile down the road. Barely even that. But we want to make sure we get there relatively in good time here. So we're still under the, as I said before, 1.1 mileage distance. But we really don't have that far to go. So, and this time, I believe the unload process is on the right side of the track. So that means we'll be opening the right side doors this time, and that saves us from having to hit the button. As you can see, we're already starting to drop in speed, or are we starting to drop in yards very quickly? Because like I said, this stop here, West Ealing, was not even a mile down the road. And this was the shortest track. This was the shortest run on this route. Alright, so we are now, right now I got brakes at 2, which I'm still good. This thing will still stop on a freaking dime, even on second brake. And you will see, yes, I'm a little bit over, but don't worry about that. As long as you are stopped before the end of this track, then you're good. You'll still get credit for the objective itself. Alright. In and out with Ealing. Just look for the little small steps there, and then you're good to go. But in this instance, I don't have to worry about it too much because I do have my train here. So I'll just sneak back in, because the where my train is parked right now, I'm currently blocking the other step for the other side. So don't worry. All is not lost in case you do drop down in the all is not lost in case you do drop down in the pit, as I call it. Alright, so we are almost there. I'm going to go ahead and close my door. Alright, so now we're going to lock them up. Alright, so now we have Hanwell. Will take a little bit of time. Hanwell, pretty much same distance, 0.8 miles. And I generally just always hit the gas. Always hit the gas. Mostly just to kind of get us going here. If you hold it down, get the cameras, go to the rear, and now we're good to go. And because I adjusted my camera, then I won't be hitting wires and other stuff like that. But I will have to start paying attention here. Because like I said, I'm going to be doing this stop strictly from this camera. This is kind of the beauty of once you really get familiar with this game, you can stop while you're in this mode, which I love because it's a lot of fun looking at the camera angles of all the scenery. It is an absolute gem. I love the scenery mode of it. Alright, so now, yeah, we better start dropping it just a tad here. Always make sure you leave enough room. And then the spots, yes, I know I'm over. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to go ahead and head back in. Unlock the doors again. I always like to get out and watch the doors open. It's very cool. As you can see, and the reason I say just make sure you have enough room, follow the markings on the train, because what you want to do is make sure that your train is all completely inside the area. You never want even your back cab. You know, if you just stop too soon, then you're out all the way out here, and then how are your passengers going to be able to load up? So Hamwell and Hawthorne. Excuse me. And yeah, this stop here certainly went by fast. Alright. Alright, lock them up again. Again, as always, hit that left pad to open up the door. Alright, make sure your brakes are released. That's the BC, brake pressure. And then once your brake pressure is at 0, then you can go. Now we're at South Hall, which we are generally due to arrive there in 3 minutes. It is 1.7 miles. Like I said, on this route, because it's 17 minutes, it's a 17-minute route run. It's a lot shorter, so the stops are a lot more close together. And once you get really familiar with the game itself, then I've seen some streamers where they don't even have this on, you know, this thing even on the speedometer and everything. They generally just go by what you see on the dash. But I'm not quite there yet. Well, I'll be there one day, but I'm not quite there yet. So. And like I said, Ryan, if you feel that this is another signal, like I said, circle on your control pad. Like I said, once you really figure out the aspects of this train, then it's really not that hard. And once you understand the aspects of how the controls work for this train, it's really not that hard either. It's R2, R1 for throttle and braking. Yeah, throttle and braking. R2 and R1. Now we're starting to get into the drop speeds here. Yeah, as I can see, I'm kind of dropping a little faster than I need to, so I just went back down to 0, which is cruise mode. And then I'll start dropping again once I getting into 400 yards. I'll drop that down to 3. Still seeing that I'm still humming a little quick. I'll still drop it down to cruise once again, because once you hit 3 on your brake, the thing stops pretty fast. And like I said, I'm not too worried. Yeah, even on 2, my goodness, I'm still humming this thing like a boss. Alright. And we've hit the objective here. I'm going to go ahead, unlock the doors. I'm going to get out so I can see the doors open. I'm just a sucker for hearing the doors open, which is so awesome. Alright, see if I can find any goodies here. Really? I found a dispatch baton? Where? And as you can see, each station is marked. So if you go to station 4, which is over here, this is a very tightly wound station. And if you want to just go back, go to 2-3, which we are at, and voila, we is here on, where are we? Yeah, I would say station 2. So, alright, you always have to point at the seat in order for that indicator to come up. I go ahead and put my signal on. Remember, left pad. And then we have Hayes and Harlington. And that is officially our last stop on this route. Oops. Okay. Alright, wait for the thing to drop to 0. The door closes. Because I didn't close, it closed automatically once I hit the go. And like I said, R2 is run when you're on foot. When you want to get out, and you know, you hit triangle and then just move on out. And if you run, then that's R2. And it's walking, it's very slow. Well, not too badly slow, but it's slow enough. Alright, so 1.5 miles to Hayes and Harlington, and so far we've been doing good. Oops. And if you hit the options, there are your stops. And then this pretty much goes all the way down. Hayes and Harlington, our final stop on this route. Now if you hit the big pad in the middle, shows you the map of what you're on. You can always zoom in and see yourself. Alright, hit the I forget what they call it, but like I say, if you don't want to get too overwhelmed, hit when I need to hit the circle button. Oh shoot. Yeah, just like you. Alright, here, yes, we were dropping speed, and we will still be dropping speed. We'll be dropping heavily to 15 miles an hour in just quite a bit, because Hayes and Harlington is it's a pretty humming. It hums in there pretty dang quick. Alright, I'm still going to drop to 30 just to be on the safe side until we have to drop to 15, which is going to be less than where we're heading right now. But I don't want to get there too slow, so I'm still just cruising at 28 miles per hour. Yeah, I first got the game, it was all in kilometers, so I changed it to miles per hour to help myself. Alright, so and then yeah, I was doing it right. Alright, so we are dropping into, alright, now we're into the beauty. Now I'm at 12. There you see the indicator just changed to where we're at. And because we're here, all you really have to do is just drop it one notch, because you can still stop on 1 and be good to go. As you can see, I'm still good. Alright, so drop in second gear. That way you allow your train to get in completely and be good. Alright, apply the throttle brake. Oh yeah. Alright, full service. Alright, and set the reverser to off. That's reverse. Alright, we're going to turn that off. Turn the key.
That was a nice easy run. Not too challenging. Be sure to put yourself forward for more work.
Alright, and then we are GONE. Once you hit the master key turned off, you have the reverser off, you have it in full service, your day is done. And your day is done with this thing. So like I said, once again, just hit the, I just closed doors because it's a habit of mine, but hit the triangle, and then I'm running to the sprinting to the stop, which is R2. And oh yeah, just to show you what I was talking about. Yes, I will get done with the day. Patience. As you can see, my train is completely in here. And then everybody can get out. And then move on to wherever they're heading towards next. But this is the short route of this run. 17 minutes. A lot of short stops, but it's not too bad. Alright, we hit the objective. We are done. And really, overall, we really did well. We were 1 minute late at 3 of our stops. other than that, we were good. Alright, so we'll hit that in. Alright, so we'll just hit the main menu. MP15DC. Yeah, that's also on the cow train scenario. Alright, next scenario. Like I said, I've done all 3 stops on down the line, but just to show you the other one, I'm going to do this one again. Because each one is, you have 2 of the Class 166, and then you have what I call the bus. And that one is a fun train to drive. That one to me is a fun train to drive. But each train has its own likes, dislikes, fun, all that good stuff. Alright, so we're back here again.
Welcome to London Paddington. There are 3 trains available for you to take control of. Each one provides an increasingly longer journey. Which will you choose?
Alright, so this time we are going to hit platform 10. I believe that's still the same. Alright, so like I said, just hit, look at your numbers. Platform 10 is leaving within the next 3 minutes. Oh, shoot. Oh, went over. Alright, here's platform 10. This one's still the same one we just did. Yeah, this service is all the way to Reading. Holy cow, just how long is this train? Alright, so alrighty. Alright, so we are going to take over.
This train is a semi-fast service to Reading. Get things set up, ready for departure. You'll be heading out shortly.
Alright. Alright. Yep, hit my headlights today. Before I do that, I'll hit my DSD. Alright, because hit the right pad. I can set headlights easier that way. And then hit the door release. Everything's on the right side this time. Alright, so passengers are loading. Like I said, we are due to leave in less than a minute. Yeah, Paddington to Reddington, if it's with the bus, the other train, it generally takes 30 minutes to go from one end to the other. That's all you get on the bus. You really don't get a whole lot of stops with the bus. It's basically a one trip and back and forth to Reading and back. You don't have all the stops like you do with this thing. Alright, so we're just kind of dropping it real quick. And then we hit the guard. Hit the guard buzzer because they will hit the red light on us if we don't. Alright, and we're good to go. We're notch 3. As we are rolling. And just for fun. Oops. Oops. No. Oops. Front camera. We're going to go with the rear. Oops. Ow. As you can see, we're still generally underneath the... Oh no. Now once you really get out of the industrial area, which is Paddington, and everything else pretty much clears up the rest of the way. But if you feel you're getting smacked in the face way too many times, hit again, adjust your, oops. Alright, go back to camera mode, and then just adjust your camera with R2 and L2, which is up, down. And then to go back to driver mode, just hit the same button again, which is triangle. And the only reason to turn down the sound is because when it's full blast, it is loud. Alright, so we're heading for Ealing Broadway just like before. Does this really seem far? Alright, so this is the front boom camera. And the rear boom. And then I like the rear, this view, because it is so pretty. You can really see a good bit of the scenery in the game. Alright, so we are at 4.1 miles away from our next stop. So this is a little bit longer run because the stops are going to be a little bit further out. But we are about to hit the 80 miles an hour mark, which is beautiful. And then just out the outline, I'm going to do one run with the bus. And that's the trip to Ealing and Broadway. I mean, from Paddington to Reading. One stop all the way through. Alright, so here I'm just going to give it the gas and get it going. You can see the smoke is rolling. We're still a little bit ways out of the area, 3.4 miles. Oh, that hurt. Now if that ever happens, then just go into camera mode, triangle, and then just adjust your settings again, R2 and L2. That's how you kind of control the up-down portion of the screen. As if you don't want to hit the tracks. If you want a little bit more scenery, you just kind of work your way up. Alright, so we're still hitting still dealing with the signals, but as you can see, yes, a ton of scenery. And for some people it may be, this is what you're looking at, other trains and other train station depots and all that good stuff, but I tell you, I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy this game, love it like anything. And I'm going to do my best to keep this thing at least an hour long. hit another big thing. It'll be so much fun. Alright, so now we're starting to get to camera on driver mode. Alright, as you can see, I am really just cruising at 80 miles an hour, and I'm going to kind of start dropping each mileage I drop off on the thing. I kind of drop it a little slow first. I don't want to drop too fast, and then I can just kind of debate where I am at for speed. So right now we're still doing another 2 more minutes, but we are suddenly getting into the fast countdown. So I'm going to drop it to level 2, which drops us even quicker. So just to make sure we don't get way outside our range, I'm going to go ahead and go inside real fast. I'm still going to drop it to 1. And as you can see, I can see the things come up here. I still don't want to drop too fast here. I mean, I don't want to stop too early. So here I drop it to level 2, which is really fast. Yeah, I don't want to overrun or get in too quick. And now I will drop it to this end. And if you want to have some real fun stereo cameras, the front boom camera, left door, and you'll see the doors open, which is a beautiful thing. Oh. I'll have to wait another minute. Bummer. Have to wait another minute before I can really go. So in order to do that, I'm just going to drop out, get back in the cab. Since we did get here early, which is a good thing. Alright, so Hayes and Harlington. And as soon as that brake pressure goes to 0, yes, we know that. And if you see that thing say open and close prompts will no longer appear, yes, we know that. Alright, so we have 5 miles to go on this run to get to Hayes and Harlington. So I'm going to hit the rear camera. Ow. Tell you one thing, everything changes so fast. Kind of drop it just a little bit. That way I'm kind of skimming. If I want to go high, I can go as high as I want, but I don't want to go too high. going because we're not, I mean, we're building speed, but we're not going too fast because of the fact that we are going up a hill. At least 1% grade. We also got yellow lights coming. And like I said, R2, R1 are the controls for this train. That's your throttle and your brake. We're still in yellow, so we just have to make sure it doesn't go red. That's that is the big thing. What? Oh well, somehow we passed a danger. Okay. Alright, so we're not going to worry about that too much. Alright. Anyway, I'm not too worried about that, so don't worry about that. Do not worry about that little scenario. It's not going to be too bad. Alright, scenario. Now I'm going to show you the bus, which I call the bus. And this is from Paddington to, this is Paddington to all the way to Reading. And this is kind of the same thing, except the train that generally does not have hardly any stops until you get to Reading.
You've been called in to cover for a driver who's been delayed on another service. You're needed to take the train out to Reading, where the driver will continue the service as scheduled.
Alright, so we're heading over to main station concourse. Alright, so we're going to be taking the bus. Alright, yeah, this one turns around. As you can see, this is what I call the bus. It is a big, big train. Really high class end seats. Okay. For some reason that door would not open. Alright. Anyway, enough messing around there. We're on track 3, heading over to here. So we'll just open up the door, close the door, Get in the driver's seat and turn. The master key is already unlocked. Alright, so we're going to set the headlights. Now this one's a little bit trickier. Okay, so here we have to find the okay. Alright, set in the day and hit the reverser to forward. Alright. So hit the left side and the doors will open and the passengers will be loaded. This is the instance where the boom camera really doesn't come into play too much because of the fact that we are in Paddington. Now this train, this is not quite 2-buttonish, so I mean, this is a 2-button train, or 4 buttons total. Your throttle will be on your right side. Your brake will be on your left side. But once you get the train going, it's not that hard. Alright, so complete that. Train doors again. And we're going to lock the left side. Alright, left side's done. We're going to set the train to running. Just hit L1 in order to do that. And then hit the throttle. And once we get going, this puppy's going to go. Like I said, it is one trick pony stop from Reading, from Paddington to Reading. I'm going to go ahead and just hit the hammer. This thing goes all the way down to speed level 5. It can go as fast as top speed 150 miles an hour. And we are due into Reading for 34 miles. That is what we're heading for. And as you can see, it's twilight, so it is going to be dark soon. And like we saw in that last scenario, just always make sure that you're paying attention to your lights and your breakage. Now, if anything should happen and you feel like you're not going to be able to stop in time no matter what, here is your emergency brake, and it will stop you on a dime. And right now, I'm not doing that. And because we're going just a little bit quick, I'm going to drop it real fast to the appropriate speed. Alright, and then notch it down to L1, not to hit the brakes back down to running, because you can't move without the brakes being running. So If you discover that you're not moving, it's because you probably have the brakes still on running. And then in about less than a mile, we're going to be top speed at 100 miles an hour. So right here we can kind of go a little bit faster. So I just did 2 notches with R2. And what you really get familiar with, I would say in the beginning, there's really 3 trains to drive. It's the British Waves, and then do the S-Bahn in Germany, because that train is also it's like your 166 class train that we saw in the beginning and that you drove tonight. Ryan is a 1-gear stop and start. Everything's controlled by the gear. Simple train to drive. So it's a lot of fun. As I really enjoy all of the trains I drive. Train coming my way. We are soon to be dropping into 100-mile-an-hour zone. So we're going to put this sucker in gear number 5. With the rear camera on. We're off that just a bit. So not going to be, really got it. Already got the max throttle on. Yes, you can drive this train even while you're in this mode by the same controls that you just heard me explain to you. And once you get really comfortable and familiar with that, then you will be good to go. In order to really do that, you gotta really get going. Get really good with the controls first. The only way to do it. Let's see if I can find my... Alright. As you heard that signal, that means we are good to go. Alright, so we're going to be able to go up to 125. Cruising. There's a lot of stops we saw in the beginning with the little train, the Class 166. We are going to be passing. And there is one of the Class 166 is right there. And if you have any questions about anything, Ryan, feel free to drop them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them for you. Like I said, overall, to understand each controls, how the train works and everything, it's not too hard. But if you ever stump yourself in whichever what this and that, always hit the options button, scroll over to the options, actually go to settings, and then go into controls. As you can see, I did turn off the camera invert y-axis because it reverses everything, which is so annoying. And then go into locomotive controls, which you see I already have, and then you see all the control settings for everything. Reverser direction, that's just going up and down on your left stick. And the wipers and the bell. Yes, there is a bell. But other than that, it's not too hard. And then everything else is on your right side. And then turntable. Yeah, turntable. I've not dealt with a turntable yet, so that will be new for me. And then this is on foot. Yeah, run as R2. That's really the only thing I worry about is run. Alright. And then go into, like I said, settings. If you feel, yeah, this is audio. As you can see, okay, just to let you know, I have my dialogue at 100. Would probably drop that down to 65. But everything else I have 100, and master volume I have down to 65. Music I have totally off, and then sound effects and dialogue at 65%. So 50 is probably good for you, since you have a little bit quieter, as I really, and also have subtitles on, so that I can see also what they're saying. You have yours down to 50%, and so 65 is generally what I have it on mine, but everyone's different. But this is the part where it can get loud when you're outside the train. R2 to kind of raise your levels on camera, and hit the triangle button again to shut off the alerter. Like I said, once you get comfortable, get familiar with driving the train, don't be too concerned about the alerter just yet, but just if you do want to try it out, you feel like an actual driver, then turn them on, and then hit circle to turn the alerter off. If you don't, they can automatically stop your train via perfect control group. And then you just have to wait a few minutes to you have to wait a few minutes for your train to get going again. And my biggest thing is I need to get back doing some runs on this game. I do miss driving these trains. They are a lot of fun. Be a little bit more proficient in the releasing videos. My overall goal for this year, 2020, is hopefully release a video every other day. So on a schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Well, Monday, Wednesday, Friday will be my schedule to release videos, and my streaming schedule will still be the same, which is generally Wednesday through Monday. On the week that I'm off of work. speed. Oops. My error. Alright, so we'll correct that mistake. And we'll put ourselves in cruise. I'm just cruising, having a good time here. As we are heading downhill here. Alright, still 21 miles out on this run. As you can see, Ryan, even I make mistakes. And I certainly hope you find this video very helpful in really learning this game pretty quick. Like I said, the two lines that are really good to start out with is one, the S-Bahn, and then two, the Great Western Railway. It's two great lines to really learn the aspects of your train, all the controls, stoppages, and everything else, and really get going. The more challenging trains are going to be like the more challenging trains are going to be New York. New York is challenging. But as always, as I said before in chat for you tonight, just when in question, just look at your controls, and also do your training and learn how to drive each train. And then the important thing, have fun. Just have fun. Like I said, once we get to Reading, then I'm going to go ahead and just kill this video for tonight. I like the challenges of having the DSD, the signals that I'm dealing with right now, the beeping and everything. I'm used to that, the DSD and the AWS. The DSD AWS signals. And we're cruising up on the AP right now. But really figure this whole thing out, do the scenarios first before you do the services. The services are, as I like to say, they're interesting. And I generally like driving the trains I enjoy driving. Not to say I haven't tried every single line. And then before I knock off on this video, I will show you what I mean by all the other different lines and everything else. And it's important to always learn the different controls, how they work, and everything else. But to a point, I am a bit jealous because you've got the cow train set up. That thing looks sweet. The double-decker reminds me of the German line, the big red train I've driven on my past streams. That also is a double-decker train. fine line between when the officials stop that we can go as fast on. Okay. So we're 10 miles out from Reading, and right now we're good. Like I said, this is just a straight shot here on this run. It's not too difficult. Alright, so we're going to hit the rear camera view. We kind of get a little bit of a look at all the beautiful scenery. Said I started dropping speed at about about when I see 1.1 miles, but no doubt we'll have to start dropping speed closer we get into Reading. This is part of the game I absolutely love. Just the beautiful scenery and the beautiful makeover of the trains themselves. Plus you can really get a good idea of just how fast we're going here on the outside. Like I said, I have this at third throttle. I did have it on 5 until I noticed. They even look at the speedometer, AP, and it's saying that we were continuously driving over the speed limit. And I was like, oh, really? Well, somehow we passed the danger. Okay. Either way, that's fine. Anyway, that's the easy part of the whole thing. But that train is 2-button control. Ryan is the R2 and R1, and then L2 and L1 is your brakes on that train. Just to let you know. Alright, so I'm going to go into switch routes real fast just to let you know the two really I would start off with for you the easiest of all, of course, the Great Western Express, and then Rapid Transit, which is the German's S-Bahn series. That's also a train that is only strictly controlled by one controller. So simple and easy to do, and I've actually driven some pretty good miles on it. Most challenging one to me are the two New York trains, the railroad, the Long Island Railroad, and the original NEC New York. And New York is a bit challenging, plus you have some long layovers in the main throttle of the area, so that can make it a little bit interesting, needless to say. So yeah, there's still some other things to kind of work through on that. But for you, Ryan, to start off with, I would not touch West Somerset just yet. I would just concentrate on Rapid Transit and the Great Western Express, so that you kind of get your feet wet first before you really start taking on some of these other routes, like the West Somerset Railway, Ruhr-Signord, which is a fun train I enjoy driving, which is also the double-decker I like driving, and then of course the Long Island Railroad train, and then of course the NEC New York. So that is what you're looking forward to there, Ryan. So enjoy Train Sim World. Hopefully this video has been a big help to you, my friend. If you have anything else, feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe to this button, and also welcome to Diamond's Simulation World, Ryan, in case you haven't been able to find my videos here. So until then, everyone, have yourself a great evening, and until tomorrow night, where I will be on actually I'll be back here tomorrow night doing some simulation type stuff. So Diamond Simulation World. So come join us tomorrow night here on DSW, as we will get things rolling once again. So till then, everyone, have yourself a great night. And like I said, Ryan, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Till then, everyone, have yourself a fantastic evening, and be safe out there.